Welcome, everyone, to Warriors Orochi 1. This is the first game in the Warriors Orochi franchise. It's, I think, the 10th Warriors title that they made. So it's pretty far up there. So it's you know, pretty far down there. As you can see, I've already cleared the Shu, Wei, and Wu storylines. I will redo them if everyone wants me to. I may actually just end up doing it anyway. Pretty fun game for the most part. There's a couple more characters I need to unlock in some of these story modes, but for the most part, I've basically got everybody. This is the Samurai story mode, though, that we'll be doing today. The one I haven't touched yet. You can see that, unlike typical Warriors games, which make you pick an individual character, this one basically gives you 3 characters to choose from. You will start with sets of 3 that are different for every story mode, and the vast majority, if not all of those characters, will be reflected entirely on the faction with which you are predominantly following. In other words, you will mostly be led by Shu characters in the Shu storyline, Wu characters in Wu story mode, and Wei characters in Wei story mode, with splatterings of characters from the other 4 or 6 total different subsets of character sets. For instance, there is Shu's set of characters, Wei's characters, Wu's characters, the other sets of characters, which are characters from the Dynasty Warriors franchise that are not affiliated with Wei, Wu, or Shu. The first Samurai Warriors games characters, the second Samurai Warriors games characters. Please understand that the Extreme Legends expansions to these titles are not factored in when this game was made. So you won't see characters like Toshiie Maeda or Motochika Chosokabe as playable Muso officers. They will appear as generic ones, though. Any story mode that you have not cleared, you can only play through it with characters you have unlocked in that story. This one starts you with Nobunaga Oda, Mitsuhide Akechi, and Hideyoshi Toyotomi. As you can see, there's different types of characters as well. Speed, technique. We have 2 technique characters and a speed character here in Mitsuhide, but the technique characters are Nobunaga and Hideyoshi. The technique character, basically there's minute differences to each character archetype. Each one of them has different bonuses. Speed characters can effectively perform what this game considers a double jump. You jump up in the air, and if you hit the jump button again afterwards, it will launch you forward in a whirlwind. I like to call this the vertical jump, or the horizontal jump, rather. Yeah, it's the horizontal jump, because it basically just shoots you forward. It's a way of leaping out of a horde of enemies and shooting yourself away from them in order to try and get yourself out of a bad situation. Technique characters have a weird ability that allows them to essentially counterattack when enemies are striking at them. If you master counterattack timing, you will have an easy time deflecting enemy attacks and immediately attacking back. I have never used this system and have done just fine in this game for the most part, but I don't legitimately know how good or effective it may or may not be. We're going to set them to their alternate costumes for a level or 2, just to show them off. In addition, every character has sets of abilities that they can learn. When they learn an ability, it gets added to this pool of abilities here. These are all the abilities you can get in the game. There are blue ones, red, and yellow. Blue ones, obviously, the blue, red, yellow is meant to reflect the speed, power, and technique characters. Power characters have hyper armor, by the way. That's the 3rd character archetype. This means that they don't get knocked out of their attacks when engaging mid-swing. However, Every time they get hit, it does actually stall their attack. And if they get hit enough times when trying to perform an attack, they can still get staggered out of their attacks. So this is not a strictly true basis, but it does give them a very solid buffer to just continue swinging through. You don't need one of all three character archetypes. You don't need one of every, you don't need one power character, one technique character, one speed. You can mix and match whatever the hell you like. Just be aware what class of character does what, so that you know what special abilities you have to take advantage of when you mess with them. There's only 3, so it's not that difficult to figure out. And their changes are essentially the same from character to character. The only major differences to these characters are their appearances, their voices, and their abilities. Their attack combinations. In this case, the various acquired abilities you can get are Vitality. Obviously, this just gives you more health. This can be very useful in this game because there are certain enemies, including boss class characters, that will deal tremendous damage to you. And even on easy mode, sometimes this game can beat the shit out of you. You wouldn't think that it would, but it could. It very easily can. Focus increases Muso gauge capacity. Every character has a Muso attack. When they activate their Muso mode, they become invincible, and if you hold down the circle button on the PlayStation 2, because that's what I'm playing this on, it will allow them to execute an endless combo until their Muso runs out. If their health is in the red when they execute a Muso attack, they will instead perform what is known as a true Muso. A true Muso has them execute a combo after they have ran their Muso gauge out. It also empowers their Muso gauge, usually with either increased damage during the Muso attack or adding an element on that stacks damage or freezes them and stuns them. So this can be really useful if you need a good Muso attack to break out of getting your ass kicked and then do a lot of damage before you come out of your invulnerability window. Potence, obviously this just buffs your damage, makes you hit harder. Very, very useful because some enemies in this game are a little stupid with how durable they are. Not gonna lie to you. Fortitude makes you more defense heavy, harder to kill. This is extremely required on higher difficulties. If you try and play this shit on Chaos, you need this skill maxed out. If you don't max this ability out before you go on Chaos, get ready to die all the time. And even if you do, get ready to die because you can still very easily die. Impulse increases speed. This allows you to move faster. That's all it does. This may sound like the stupidest ability ever, but until you get your Cavalier skill leveled up significantly, you might really need this. And even if you do level up Cavalier, when you go inside of castles and fortresses, you can't ride your horse in there. So if you need to do something quickly in order to acquire an item, or go in and out to rescue an ally, or go in and out to kill an enemy and then get the fuck out of there because something else is going to happen and you need to be somewhere else really, really fast, Impulse is how you do it. Karma increases your luck. All this does is it makes enemies drop random power-ups like attack double, defense double, speed double, or rather speed max, because it doesn't double your foot speed, it maxes it out, for 30 seconds, or health pickups. So basically all this does is it makes it easier for you to get power-ups when you're killing lots and lots of enemies. And that can be really helpful because it can make it easier for you to just buff yourself, and while you can't control this, you get speed. Now all of a sudden, if you need to get the fuck away, you can. You get attack times 2. All of a sudden, you're hitting twice as hard. You are going to face roll a lot of enemies. And that can be a really good way to clear them out and make it easier for you to regain your footing. You get a defense times 2. It makes you almost invincible in most cases. Your durability shoots through the stratosphere unless you are fighting an enemy with a particularly high attack modifier, which does not happen particularly often, but it will happen in the final stage of every story mode. Power increases abilities of power category warriors. Speed does the same for speed category warriors. Technique does the same for technique category warriors. So what this does is the unique ability that each one has, such as Your unique attack with the power category character and your hyper armor modifier, it gives them a boost. For speed, this buffs your horizontal jump, and I believe it also increases the unique attacks of speed characters. Technique. This increases the power of your counterattacks and gives a slight buff to other unique abilities that specific characters can have. But they have to be of these specific categories or they don't get the bonus. Boost strengthens charge attack. Any attack made after pressing square and then hitting triangle is considered a charge attack. Any attack where you have to rapid tap the button in order to build up a charge is a charge attack. So heavy attacks are boosted with this. This can be a godsend for certain characters because some characters kind of live and die in terms of their viability with their charge attacks. You do not play with wires. Strengthens Muso attack. This makes your Muso attack do more damage. Again, you're invincible when you do this, so using this strategically can allow you to kill powerful enemies or regain your footing by decimating an entire mob of enemies around you and possibly getting power-ups. Acclaim increases EXP obtained. This is one of the most useful abilities in the game until it isn't. You can use this to get shit tons of experience a little bit faster. Much faster if you level it up a lot and get it a lot. But that can be a little tricky and I'll explain why. But this is useful to keep your character's levels flowing. And you need that because that increases their stats. And difficulty is a big thing in this game. Enemies hit hard, and that means that you need to level up a lot to get more health, more defense, and more damage so you can kill them quicker. Recuperate. Accelerate Muso gauge recovery while inactive. Any characters that are not actively being used by the player are in what is known as reserve mode. That's just what I call it anyway. In reserve mode, they are able to regenerate their health and Muso until it fills up to max. This means that if you get one character that gets the living crap kicked out of them, you can use this to swap to somebody else who has a full Muso gauge faster. Recover does the same thing for their health. Well, actually, no, that just refills their life gauge during battle while they're active. Recuperate, conserve, reduces Muso gauge usage. This is really useful if you rely on your Muso attack a lot, because what this does is it reduces how fast it depletes. And it also lowers the amount required when executing moves that require Muso energy, but are not your actual Muso attack. Because it means you can use more of them. But it also means that when you are attacking in your Muso, when it's active, your Muso mode will drain slower so you can last longer and hit enemies more for more damage until it wears off. Adrenaline. Refills life gauge once combo reaches 10. This can be very deceptive. Essentially what this means is that it heals you a little bit. What it actually means is that it heals you a little bit every time you hit 10 on a combo meter. That's very easy to do, but until you level this up a lot, like until it hits level 10, it's not a very effective skill, and particularly on Chaos, it's not going to help you that much. Recover. Refills life gauge during battle. This allows you to regenerate health while you're fighting. So the active character is going to heal while they're engaged. This is really helpful because it's very easy to die on higher difficulties, and this can help mitigate some of that while you're using an active character that's really good. The problem with Recover is that Recover isn't very effective until you've leveled it up a significant amount. It needs to be around level 6 or higher to feel it. Refill. This does the same thing for the active member for their Muso gauge, so this regenerates while they're fighting. This can be extremely helpful because if you use the Muso draining attacks or their active Muso attack a lot, you will be able to do this more often and much more easily, because your Muso gauge does not refill just by smacking enemies anymore. It actually refills in a little bit of a more complicated manner that I'm still not quite sure how it works. Character growth. You will notice I have a shitload of characters. This is because I've completed 3 out of the 4 story modes and gotten almost every character from those modes that you can get. You will also notice I haven't touched the vast majority of them. There's a reason for that. The reason is that the difficulty level in these campaigns scales quickly. And if you try to continually rotate characters as you collect abilities from them, and I promise I'll explain how that works in a second, you will very quickly start to see yourself die a lot if you keep trying to do progressively harder missions, because these characters will be too low level. They won't have their longer combos unlocked, they won't have their better moves unlocked, and they won't have abilities and power-ups that they need from just being able to level up enough to sustain to match what they are engaged with. And that can really fucking hurt them if you're not careful, and it will make it hard. Even on the easiest difficulty, I could not use level 1 characters on missions 3, 4, or 5 because it's very easy to get them killed. Which is weird because most Warrior games are not this difficult. But you can use tons of characters from the franchise of Samurai and Dynasty Warriors, so it's really pretty interesting to see. Weapon fusion involves fusing weapons together so that you can attach abilities to these different weapons. You will see I've managed to do that already. Each ability attached to a weapon gives it a bonus, but this bonus only triggers when you execute the final attack in specific movesets. So keep that in mind. Every character that is not used starts out with a weapon that has no modifiers, no abilities, no weapon slots, no nothing. When you fuse weapons, and I'm going to go ahead and show this off just because I feel like I should, you can add a point of attack and add some slots to this so that it can carry more abilities. There's only so much you can do this, though, before you run out of slots. And you'll also notice there is a price to this if you look to the top. It costs you growth points to use these abilities and to upgrade these weapons. How you doing, Ivy David? Welcome to the stream. But if you have what you need to do it, you can actually attach a large supply of abilities. Oh god, I didn't mean to get rid of Multi. Hold on. Multi is actually really good. Rage is what you want to replace. Each ability does different things. Attaching elements to weapons is also useful. Please read the chat rules, David, before you continue. Virtually everyone who asks me that tries to sell me something. And I have a rule about people trying to sell me anything on this channel. Flame, it basically allows you to do DOT damage with fire after you hit an enemy with a combo ender. Ice, you will flash freeze enemies if you use a combo finisher with this attached. Slay, it basically makes the attack do critical damage when you use that. Drain absorbs enemies' HP when you hit them with a combo finisher. Brave increases attack strength against officers when you do a combo finisher on them. Range will do the same thing, it extends your range. Might buffs your raw damage. All of this only works on combo finishers though, so try to keep that in mind. But that's how weapon fusion works. You can max out a ability attached to a weapon at level 10. So when you hit 10 on range or flame, that's as powerful as it's going to get. Your weapon can get a base attack modifier of plus 20. Thank you, Glory. I warned him. Your weapon's attack modifier maxes out at plus 20, so you can't level up the base attack modifier beyond that. Probably about as long as I've been waiting for you to do it, trust me. But each character is going to have some differences as to what they want attached to their weapons. There's not really a good fix-all for everybody. There are some abilities you will want consistently from character to character, Yeah, exactly. I knew you were in here waiting for that. There's 3 different elements you can attach to your weapons. There's Flame. That basically, I've explained that one. It does DOT. Bolt. That hits them with lightning, which does more damage to them when the lightning impacts. It also stun locks them and knocks them on their ass. Anybody who gets hit by it. Flash has a random chance to break enemies' guard when they're blocking you. And what Multi does is, if you've ever seen Naruto and you've seen him do his Shadow Clone Jutsu, it's kind of like that, except it does that to after images that it creates for you on your combo finishers. Whenever you finish a combo with a combo finisher, you will see a bunch of after images appear. Those after images all deal damage, so they're kind of like shadow after images, if that makes any sense. Agility increases the attack speed of certain moves. So when you activate a charge attack, agility speeds up that attack's overall actual motion values so that it moves quicker, and then you proceed to damaging enemies quicker. Agility is paramount to a number of characters, but there are a number of other characters that don't need it. John Wei has it just because he has it. It was just an ability I could slap on him. I actually didn't need to give him this. But I slapped it on there just because it doesn't hurt him to have it. Somebody like Guan Yu or... here he is. Yoshihiro Shimazu would absolutely benefit from agility, because he's a relatively slow attacker. Team info. This allows you to figure out... Yeah, go ahead, Glory. Take your time. This allows you to figure out what these characters excel at. Like, you can look at their stats. Nobunaga's got good speed. Mitsuhide's got good speed. Hideyoshi's got good speed. None of these are slow characters. You'll notice proficiency. The higher their proficiency level, the more damage they deal. Nobunaga also has a lot more life than his Musou. You'll notice that's somewhat variable. It's usually not super variable. Then you see ability acquisition here. Defeat 60 enemies. This is what Nobunaga needs to have done in a mission, or he can't finish, or he can't unlock this skill. So the way ability acquisition works, the way you acquire abilities in this game is every character has anywhere between 3 to 5 abilities. And when the first ability that you can collect is always very easy to collect. It's usually defeat 50 enemies, defeat 60 enemies, defeat 40 enemies, defeat 70 enemies, something like that. Killing 50 to 70 enemies in a mission is very easy. This is not hard. However, as you gain more abilities from them, the conditions for unlocking them become harder. Every single character in the game has abilities that you can unlock. You have to use everybody at least a little bit to unlock all the abilities in the game and max them out. I'm sorry, I took a bite of pizza. I'm hungry. I just got done with an 8-hour shift and a long shower. Here's everybody's... Now, here's how the move list works. It shows you what button combinations you have to press to get these characters to attack and unlock their... and how to use their combos. These combo strings are going to be different from character to character, even though it doesn't look like it right now. Mitsuhide is going to end up with a very different combo string requirement set than Nobunaga is going to end up with. In addition, R1, Enhanced Strike. Deliver Enhanced Charged Attack. Uses Musou. His star ability, Unleash a Ball of Energy, which reacts to charge attacks. Counter Strike, R1. When receiving damage from the enemy, deliver a counter attack. With R1, uses Musou. So Counter-Strike is his class ability. And you'll see that here, which does, like, it says the same thing. with Hideyoshi. And if he does his base attack, he'll increase the speed of the team. So Mitsuhide has what are called maneuvers. Invincible airborne torpedo attack. So you jump up and you hit R1 and you'll launch yourself at enemies and deal damage. If you use the left stick plus R1 though, he does a Iaido slash with a shockwave. I'm sorry. I'm just really fucking hungry, I'm sorry. Aerial thrust. X while jumping, and that will shoot you through the air. That's the special ability tied to his class. He has one other ability tied to his class, and it's aerial escape. All speed characters can do this. And they can all do aerial thrust, too. Press X while attacking, and you can jump up and away in mid-attack. This is the game controls option. It shows you how to actually play the game. So try to keep all that in mind. There is a tutorial here if you want to use it. This is a very shitty tutorial. I'm going to say this now because it is a text-based tutorial. And all it does is it tells you everything you need to know, but it doesn't make you actually use that information. So you know what you need to do, but you don't know how to do it. Because that makes so much fucking sense, right? Samurai Warriors Chapter 1. The Battle of Jing Province, the Coalition Army and the Huangzhong Army against Orochi. Hurry to provide aid to allies in need. There is strength in numbers. This is a really cool intro. I'm going to let this play.
A mighty demon descended to Earth, bringing with him untold confusion. He warped time and space, creating a new world populated by the greatest heroes of Japanese and Chinese history. He then proceeded to amuse himself by challenging and destroying every force that stood against him. But he was not yet finished. He was waiting for one worthy of challenging him to appear. This demon was named Orochi. Another demon watched all this happen and decided that it was his role to gather together enough brave warriors to defeat Orochi. This was the man known as the Demon King, Nobunaga Oda.
Okay. Sorry about that. Had to go blow my nose. So this is the pre-mission junction screen. There's not that much to this screen. What it lets you do is it lets you choose your weapons. Here's my controller. I'm a bit of a dip today. Weapon. You can, like, if you have other weapons available, you can have up to, like, 10 weapons per character. You can just pick a different one if you have one that's better than some of the others. You can select your abilities pre-battle. You can also check your team info pre-battle, figure out how to get your different abilities so that you'll know what you need to try and do this battle. Conditions. You have to beat Cao Pi, but if Nobunaga, Huang Zhong, or Guan Ping are defeated, you lose. And then this will tell you who all the officers are on the map.
Fates they are building. Orochi, the Serpent King.
I must fight on for my fallen comrades. Who are you?
Live. I will bring down a karmic rain upon you, Orochi.
I thought the East looked undermanned, but it looks like there's no way through. Still, who was that guy?
Xiangyang Castle is under siege. But Nobunaga will not stand by and let his comrades perish. Whether to go west, where the enemy forces are strongest, or leave and escape the enemy by skirting far to the east. Interesting.
The enemy are receiving reinforcements. We must change tactics. Mitsunari, I leave the siege of Xiangyang Castle to you.
I feel better now. There is a morale system in this game. It doesn't actually affect that much.
We have to keep our comrades alive at any cost.
You heard him.
Oh dear God!
And break down the Orochi.
Who did they get to voice Hideyoshi? He sounds atrocious.
They put that old skeleton on his own to guard the castle? This won't take long.
Resistance is futile. It's just that simple.
Brilliant!
The defenses have broken. Expel the intruders!
match my sword, if you can.
Slither out of this one, you reptile.
Hideyoshi sounds so
splendid
god
show of
awful
force.
in this game.
Bring him down!
An ambush! Such emptiness. I must go with aid. No, I cannot move. I have been trusted to guard my castle. You will have to fight through this on your own one day.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
Oh my god, he sounds so bad! What did they do to the little monkey boy?
My blade. I'm not going down without a fight.
Oh, why does he sound like shit? Oh my god! That is some of the worst voice acting I have ever seen. Wow, Mitsuhide's ultimate costume looks amazing. I mean, Nobunaga and Mitsuhide don't sound great either, but they don't sound like ass. Like, fucking... Hideyoshi is not Steve Urkel. I don't know why he sounds like him. For anybody wondering, Akechi Mitsuhide and Oda Nobunaga will probably be characters that I will carry to the endgame. I don't think I'm gonna carry Hideyoshi that far, though. Oh, God. His voice is just... Ugh. I'm sorry, I can't handle his voice. It's awful. What the fuck were they thinking? He sounds like the most nasal ass monkey I've ever heard in my life. It's terrible. Oh, that voice. There are very few instances where I have heard voice acting that makes me want to dig my ears out.
Years of experience have brought into this.
Well, years of experience are about to get the shit beat out of them, so get ready for it, old man. Nice.
Outfought at every turn.
You were wrong to oppose me.
Yeah, see, Mitsuhide doesn't sound like crap. His problem is that he
Break their
sounds
strength
flat.
hold, then break their
Sounding flat I can deal with.
Resistance is futile.
I'm gonna slap you silly.
You were wrong to oppose me. Brilliant!
A splendid show of force.
There you go, Guan Ping.
You are the one who...
I am Oda. Nobunaga Oda.
Please, you have to help us repel the enemy.
That is my purpose here.
First of all, Guan Ping, strictly speaking, I don't have to do jack. But I will help you anyway. Guan Ping is one of my favorite Shu officers. I really like Huang Zhong, too. Oh god, that was the worst miss ever. God damn it, Mitsuhide. It's not really his fault, that was my fault. The reason why I've been running around sealing those bases is A, you get experience points for it, and B, it stops enemy reinforcements from spawning out of those areas. There's an area that you see that juts out from every one of these. It's just far enough that enemies can spawn in the distance, and every officer has a number of troops that are under their AI's control directly. killing that officer obliterates their army.
You were wrong.
By obliterate, what that actually is code for, though,
Show of force.
and a lot of these are terms I'm getting from Samurai Warriors 1, which I will also stream if that might appease somebody around here or be interesting to someone. Who knows, maybe I'll just do it because I want to do it. I don't know. But, the army will stop spawning only when an officer is dead. So all the troops that were tied specifically to Ishida Mitsunari there
I'm twice the man you
will
are.
now,
Well, let's say
like,
one and a half
they won't
times.
leave the battlefield right away,
At least
but they
I've
will
made it all the
stop
way down the
spawning
evolution.
so you don't have to worry about it.
I humbly request you to stand and fight.
This man needs
I
uniting.
empower this to stop.
You were wrong to oppose me.
A splendid show of force.
That repels the enemy siege on the castle. Is Swang Zhong going to talk to us now?
I know not who you are, stranger, but I thank you for your timely intervention.
Just think of me as the way of the future.
We will be trodden on no longer. The time has come to fight back. Soldiers, repel the enemy.
A lot of people underestimate Huang Zhong in these games and probably underestimated him in real life during the Three Kingdoms era because he's like fucking 50 to 60 years old when the Three Kingdoms era really starts and he becomes an officer in the Shu army. But underestimating him is a massive fucking mistake. Number one, he was said to have been capable of hitting a target 100 times out of 100 times and did so.
If you want something done right, you have to do it yourself.
And the thing about him is that he was a master archer, and if I recall correctly, until his inevitable death from old age, and I believe he did actually I believe he actually passes away. I don't think he was killed in battle, but I don't remember his story.
Simply magnificent.
He actually killed the best archer in the Wei Kingdom, Xiahou Yuan, who was one of Cao Cao's greatest officers. They fought each other in an archery contest during battle, and yeah, Xiahou Yuan lost. And Xiahou Yuan was no joke. He was very famous for his blitzkrieg attacks, as a matter of fact. Very, very, very good officer. He didn't lose to Huang Zhong because he was a bitch. He lost because Huang Zhong was just that good. And what else? Let's see. What else am I needing to remember about Huang Zhong? So you might be keen to underestimate the guy, but he's actually an extremely competent warrior. And even in his advanced age, he was one of the best veterans in the Shu army for a very long time. Guan Ping is the son of Guan Yu. Anybody who is even relatively familiar with their Romance of the Three Kingdoms novels or ancient Chinese Three Kingdoms era history will know the name Guan Yu. Anybody who is particularly well educated in Japanese mythology, or not Japanese, Chinese mythology, will know Guan Yu because he was a man that was so great in battle that he was deified as a god of war. The Chinese thought he was, that they basically, his record spoke for itself to the point where he was literally deified as an actual god of war. This is shown in Record of Ragnarok, where he appears as a side character, and he actually sits among the gods, I believe, as well as among humanity, and he is in fact actually counted as a god. Then there is, like, Guan Ping was actually very famous in his own right. He was an adopted son of Guan Yu, one of several that Guan Yu had. Good God, my frame rate is tanking right now. Holy Christ. It can't handle my awesome.
Here is where you wither and die. Orochi will triumph. Do not resist.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
A splendid show of force. Escape is our only option.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
That's the last I'm going to use Hideyoshi in this level.
I am powerless to stop you.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
A splendid
Oh
show
my
of
God,
force.
he sounds so awful. Guan Ping is an extremely capable young officer who displayed a great amount of talent to mirror his father. He was often said to have been capable enough to potentially match Guan Yu if he had been allowed to live to achieve his full potential. Historically, Guan Ping dies at the Battle of,
Here I come!
what was it, Jiang Province? No, Jing Province. Guan Yu and his children seize control of along primarily with a lot of his troops. This is a somewhat pseudo-historical way of telling it because of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I did some digging to try and figure out where the fiction was and where the history was, and I didn't have too great of a time trying to discern which was which. So I apologize if this is not a 100% historical recreation on that, but I'm not intending to offend anybody who actually does know the historical background behind all that. So please try not to be too negative about it when you correct me, and you probably will want to correct me eventually in the comments when this hits YouTube. But historically, Guan Ping dies defending Fan Castle from a massive wave of Wu soldiers because Wei and Wu had formed an alliance temporarily in order to kill Guan Yu. The reason this was done historically is that Zhuge Liang promised that he would return the lands of Jing to Wu after Shu borrowed them for an assault on Wei. Zhuge Liang, when asked to return the lands of Jing, refused. And he had sent Liu Bei off to conquer the lands of Shu so that he could make sure that his lord would have a third of the land to be able to take for his own, so that he would have a base of operations in his own kingdom with which to build from to take over Wu and Shu, or Wu and Wei. His plan fell apart largely because of a number of just bad accidents. Hong Tong was a very capable strategist and a young, capable officer. He sent him with Liu Bei while him and Guan Yu defended Jing, so that Wu would be too intimidated by their presence to even want to strike. However, the problems began largely when Cao Cao decided he wasn't going to be held there like that, and when Hong Tong and them were charging Chengdu, Hong Tong was killed by an archer during battle, or by several archers, I can't remember. And that caused Zhuge Liang to have to go early from Jing to ensure Liu Bei took over the lands of Jing. upon succeeding in doing this, the lands of Jing had come under attack by Wei. Guan Yu made an attempt at seizing Fawn Castle. His strategy was actually pretty flawless, and it ended up working out really well. It was almost foolproof because he kind of had backups for his backups for his backups. But he made one very, very fundamental mistake. And that fundamental mistake he made was he didn't treat officers Fu Shi Ren and Mi Fang very well. A lot of the historical texts and information that I can dig up, he didn't treat those two officers particularly well. I'm not exactly sure what made it happen, but he upset them enough that they ended up defecting to Wu when Wu began to attack and pressure them.
It's just that simple.
This caused an opening in Guan Yu's rear flank, and those two proceeded to help the Wei army kill Guan Yu by surrounding him or the Wu army, and they helped surround the Wu army.
So my life is now
or not surround the Wu army. They helped the Wu army surround him and kill him.
Have you got what it takes to stay alive?
Yes, sir. Of course.
My name is Wang Zhong, and I am... Wait a minute. Are you sure you are not related to Cao Cao?
Who?
You know, the hero of chaos, tall beard like yours, no? You're a dead ringer, though. They say he died, but there are some who claim they saw him at a temple. Honochi, I think it was called. And he's just the sort of man who would circulate a rumor of his own death if he thought it would give him an advantage.
If he is really so like myself, then he will not waste time with any such chicanery. Lead me to him, old man. I am curious as to who can control this departed hero.
Huang Zhong and Guan Ping are now available for use. They've been unlocked. Boost, Cavalier, and Karma have been unlocked, so now we've got an upgrade to our horse. As you can see, we've also picked up some weapons with some weapon slots, and a couple even have abilities. Honoji and Kawanakajima are now available. Defeat 3 officers within 12 minutes of the start of the fight. He needs to defeat 3 officers as well, and he needs to defeat 70 enemies, including 3 officers, but there's no timer on him. So Hideyoshi we will do last. Nobunaga and Mitsuhide we will do first when we do the next stage. So that's what we know we now have to do to get all their abilities. So now we can go to Honoji or Kawanakajima. We're going to go to Kawanakajima first. Or Kawanakajima, as it is sometimes pronounced by other people.
Nobunaga arrived at Kawanakajima to find a warrior bravely leading his army against Orochi's forces. It was Ma Chao, one of the legendary 5 Tiger generals of Shu. He was attempting to keep the citizens of the area safe, leading them to the bastion of Zenkoji. However, the Orochi army was led by none other than the master strategist, Sima Yi. Both Ma Chao and the people he was trying to protect were in great danger. Urged by Huang Zhong, Nobunaga moved to their aid.
Ma Chao is another very famous warrior of Shu. He was initially famous for being very short-sighted, or infamous if you want to go there. See, there's Toshiie, but he's a generic officer in this game. Gong Sun Yue, sometimes you'll have Chinese officers in mostly samurai armies. Other times you'll have some samurai amongst some mostly Chinese armies. Other times you'll have a nice even mix. Ma Chao has a bunch of peasants hidden in this garrison. He himself is down here leading a force to try and wipe all these guys out. If there was a character to equate Ma Chao to, it would be Sanada Yukimura. At least the way these games present him. if Sanada Yukimura was much more hot-headed and impulsive. He is a master of the spear, a bit like Zhao Yun and Yukimura. He is an extremely fast, agile, and adept warrior. I believe he was a cavalry commander for a long time working for Shu. I'm not too sure on a lot of the specifics of him historically, but initially he was trying to defend his home of Xiliang from various invading forces and bandits when the Han Empire lost control of the country because its military capabilities and everything had weakened. What is that noise, babe? Babe, what the hell is that sound?
Look, it is Ma Chao!
The great warrior of Shu.
Oh, I was going to say, what the hell am I hearing?
We must lend him all the aid we are able to spare.
'Cause that was kind of loud and obnoxious. Anyway.
Nobunaga. I knew well in
So
advance.
Ma Chao was... He was said to initially have been very, very vengeful, very, very hateful. He was not a particularly nice guy initially. But he was also not... he was not evil. A lot of what made him seem not very kind is that he was very ruthless with a lot of his enemies. Anybody who threatened his homeland, he dealt with very, very savagely and severely. He was not afraid to lay his foot in someone's ass to protect his home. He did so for a while with Peng De, assuming the Dynasty Warriors 5 game has a level of appropriate historical records on the two. It may not. But I believe Peng De was also from Shu. So those two actually know each other. But the main thing to think about is he is just a very he's a man who's very headstrong. He doesn't think a whole lot. He tends to react and act with what feels right. And he opposed Cao Cao a lot, and even rallied together an army to try and stop him. But his army fell apart when Cao Cao used his connections with one of his past friends to basically sow distrust in the army, and they seized Tong Gate when they did this. Not long after that, he fell into the hands of, I believe the man's name was Zhang Lu or Zhang Ren, some shit like that. He was a relative of Zhang Lu, I want to say? Or no, Liu Zhang, excuse me. And Liu Zhang was a distant relative of Liu Bei. He came in to attack the lands of Shu and take them back after his, I think it was his cousin, or perhaps a brother by marriage, I'm not entirely sure what his relation to him was, had his land effectively stolen from him by Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang. And Ma Chao was among those troops. Well, Ma Chao... Oh god, have I already lost out on those abilities? No, okay, I've still got 9 minutes left. This just has a slightly shorter time.
Do you think you can stop me?
Ma Chao was among those troops and was defeated repeatedly by Zhuge Liang and Zhang Fei, if I recall correctly, who were in the defense force that he was trying to pierce. He was approached, however, because they noticed his talents. And he ended up defecting to the Shu army.
Trying to evacuate the citizens to the temple. Please lend me your aid.
That's kind of how he ended up joining Shu.
My blade is yours. I, servant of Yoda, am here now to serve you.
The resistance. Your help is most appreciated. The people are in danger. Fight with me.
Alliance has been formed with Ma Chao's army.
You were wrong to oppose me.
Leave some for me!
Nobunaga Oda, he is another character that I guess I can talk about. Historically and pseudo-historically, the man is extremely famous.
If you wish to live to see brighter days, then put your faith in me.
He is actually seen as one of the most famous warlords in all of Japan during the samurai feudal era.
It is against my nature to assist the pillage of a tyrant like Orochi. But this is a test, and I must endure for the greater good.
The Tokugawa has arrived in the northeast.
Time to take out the trash!
It's no good!
Oh. Eliminate the Orochi army reinforcements. Okay. I've still got almost 7 full minutes to get his ability.
Hit me with everything you've got!
Okay.
What's your problem? You want to be sliced and diced?
As if you could ever see it going
Part of valor.
You were wrong to oppose me.
I love how Orochi, like, even Orochi has nothing but contempt for this ass movement.
Leave some for me! I pity the fool who angers me. His lot will not be a pleasant one.
You were wrong to oppose me.
Bite my heavily padded human
Leave
ass.
some for me!
Alright. Dong Zhuo's unit has been killed. Oh my god, that's a lot of enemy troops. I have got to take out the other enemy unit quickly. And it is now time to use Hideyoshi to get his ability, unfortunately.
You shall not pass this point. Years of experience have gone into this. I shall teach you the basics of strategy. Some you win, some you lose.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
Simply magnificent.
Some you win, some you lose.
There we go.
Serves you right for getting in my
Sorry, I'm
way.
trying. I realize I have a history lesson that I need to do here, but I also am trying not to lose these
Serves you right for
peasants.
getting in my way.
If one of them dies, Ma Chao won't join you after the battle.
Perhaps this is for the best.
You want to stick close to the peasant troop, by the way. It's very easy for them to get overwhelmed and overrun if you do not help them.
You will not escape my grasp so easily. As much as I hate to use one of his drones, this should do the trick.
Oh, you
An
bastard.
ambush! Come what may, I will not let any more civilians fall.
Meddlesome trickery. End them.
I love the way that Mitsuhide responded
Here
to
on
that
this
problem.
battlefield, Nobunaga shall draw his final breath.
You must be looking for trouble. I won't be denied next time.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
A splendid show of force. There is still much for me to learn.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
Leave some for me. A splendid show of force.
hell? Oh. Okay, that must have been an enemy checkpoint. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one's catching up. Come on. Let's go. You guys need to get out of here. Get these civilians off the damn battlefield. They do not belong here. I love how they've basically devolved into just running like idiots.
The citizens are safe. We are no longer hamstrung. Now they shall feel the sting of justice.
The people are safe. All that is left is to bury their tormentors.
Nobunaga, you and I are of one mind.
The commoners have escaped us. No matter, as long as we can finally put an end to the resistance.
There we go. Alright. Let's head north and clear out the enemy bases up top. It'll also wipe out some of the troops up there. We kind of need some more experience for Mitsuhide and Nobunaga anyway. I'm surprised Toshiie is struggling. He's fighting a much smaller amount of troops per capita than everybody else is. Like, Huang Zhong's up here taking on an army. He's friggin' fine. Okay. We'll swing back down and we'll free up Toshiie in a minute. And then we'll start seizing all the bases around the rest of the map. I want the experience points. I kind of need it anyway. You may have noticed his shield broke early there. There's actually an in-game reason for that. If you drop his health below the 50% threshold by... Aww. Toshiie got routed before we could get to him. Oh well. If your enemy's like if you manage to like knock his weapon out of the way and suddenly he can't block with his shield proper, then it allows you to attack his health directly. If his health drops below the 50% marker, his shield breaks by default. And now Huang Zhong is struggling. Where are those troops coming from that keep leaking around to him?
A splendid show of force.
Damn, everybody is struggling now because I had to take so long focusing on protecting those peasants. Alright. I'm heading down there to clear out some of those troops. Hopefully everybody will last a little bit longer with them gone. Oh, Jesus, Ma Chao! Why is he almost dead?
One's head is not for fulfilling a helmet.
Okay, I can't actually leave Ma Chao alone now. His health is too low.
You were wrong to oppose me.
A splendid show of force.
Escape is our only option. You were wrong to oppose me.
Leave some for me! A splendid show of force.
Oh, I see where they're coming from. They're coming from up here.
This may be a bridge too far.
That may have just been all the troops from the officers that I took out, because they're not actually respawning. Very few of those guys actually came back to life. Now Hidemitsu is struggling.
I had faith in you.
Nobunaga is often depicted as a demonic individual or demonic entity. He is referred to as the Demon King or the Demon Lord in Japanese folklore and myth, because he was so ruthless, so savage, and so extremely violent in his bloody solutions to his problems and the way he would take on his enemies, that he earned a very infamous reputation. However, he also did a lot to try and modernize as well as enhance and upgrade Japan.
For all of your pathetic existence.
So,
I doubt that.
You'll be the one who rules this day for ever having the misfortune to run into me.
You are nothing but a common criminal in need of punishment.
It's just that
there we go.
It is my dim-witted inferiors who are to blame for this failure.
Your just hearts have moved my own. From now on, I will pledge my spear to your cause.
Ma Chao has vowed to fight with Nobunaga Oda. So what the X battles are, the X chapters in this game, they're basically alternate battles that you can play that take place either in between or around the same time, or sometimes instead of battles that happened before, or battles that happened in the main story. Ma Chao is now available for use. Fortitude, Impulse, and Speed have been acquired. We've gained a number of weapons. But Nobunaga is often referred to as the Demon King because on one hand, he was trying to modernize Japan. He was very good about upgrading Japan, enhancing Japan. You know, he got a lot of things done that Japan really needed to have done. But on the other hand, one thing that kind of made him a bit of a douchebag to a lot of people is that he was very easy to hate because he had a very bad tendency to essentially piss on original traditions. He was originally known as the Fool of Owari because Owari was the province where he grew up. Owari is a small province in Japan not far from the Tokaido region. I believe it's actually called something different in the modern day. I couldn't tell you what. But he's very easy to hate because he also slaughtered a lot of fucking people. And I know it was a wartime moment, but in Japan, but a lot of the people that he killed did not need to die. At least a lot of people saw it that way. A great example of how much of an asshole he was, at least as a lot of people saw it. Well, actually, I'll talk about what made him a genius first, and really made a lot of people take notice. Nobunaga's early days are shrouded in a lot of familial violence. He actually had to fight, I can't remember if it was Nobukiyo or whatever they called his, the relative that he had to fight for ownership of the Oda clan. But he was the heir apparent, and one of his relatives was a bit of a dick. Didn't like him. Nobunaga was a bit of a dick, though. He actually caused such a big scene at his own father's funeral that the man who trained Nobunaga committed seppuku, which is ritual unaliving, for anybody who doesn't know, of oneself, as an apology to to Nobunaga's father, the clan lord. Nobunaga really hated his dad, and nobody's really sure why he hated his guts to the degree that he did. But the fact of the matter is he did. And Nobunaga then tried to take ownership of the Oda clan. It didn't go over very well because a lot of his relatives just straight up didn't like him. If I recall correctly, the mentor who committed seppuku outright sent a message to somebody in the clan telling them to subvert Nobunaga because they did not like Nobunaga and because of what he did at his own dad's funeral. So there was that. But he was one of the first lords to try to modernize Japan. When he actually took over, if I remember it correctly, I could be getting this wrong. Somebody feel free to correct me if you actually know. He was able to repair the roads when in the areas that he lorded over. He tried to take steps to improve relations and trade with foreigners. He also tried to add on to the different religious cultures that they had. The Buddhist monks really did not like that. In fact, a lot of the Buddhist factions were extremely violent towards this. And when I say extremely violent, I'm not fucking kidding. These guys raised a large number of rebellions against Nobunaga. Part of what made him the Demon King is how he put down a large number of these rebellions. Because Nobunaga's way of dealing with a lot of those rebellions was basically, I'm going to burn all of this to the ground, and you're gonna watch it die. And then I'm going to salt the earth. I'm going to kill you, kill everybody who knows you, that's tied to you, and I'm going to destroy everything that you represented. He was a group of Buddhist monks once tried to... They had a really bad tendency of pissing off Oda Nobunaga by going out, attacking Oda patrols, and when they would attack Oda patrols, what they did was they had their troops, which were not capable of taking the Oda army in a straight fight, so they would execute guerrilla warfare engagements with him. They would take out their troops, go find a Oda patrol, and then be like, ha ha ha, I'm about to beat your ass, and then they'd kill the Oda patrol, and then they would sprint back home to their temple and basically tell Oda Nobunaga, nah, "Nuh-uh, you can't attack me. I'm at base. Like, I'm on holy ground now. You can't fight back against me. That would upset the gods." And a large number of lords at the time were extremely spiritual in the Shinto beliefs and Buddhist beliefs. And that was something that the Buddhist monks would consistently try to, who were rebelling against Nobunaga, take advantage of. Nobunaga, in no uncertain terms, basically told them, if we're going to play this game, base is no longer a rule. I'm going to burn these places to the ground, and I'm going to kill everyone involved in what you're doing. And kill everyone involved is basically what he did. Because he went up to Mount Hiei, which was where the holy site was, with a large-scale Oda army, and he killed all of the soldiers, he killed all of the priests, he killed all of the women and children, and he burned every single structure to the ground. So, when he is known as the Demon King, it's because he is a very, very, very violent man who had very, very violent tendencies, and people probably should have paid better attention when they attacked him to what they were actually capable of dealing with. The Iko Iki were essentially the group that he had to deal with, and yeah.
It was reported that in the initial battle against Orochi, Cao Cao, Lord of Wei, had been killed. However, Nobunaga received some very interesting
would you mind
information
bringing me what's
concerning
left of the
Cao
berry
Cao's
juice in the fridge,
whereabouts
please?
from Wang Zhang.
Yeah, what's left of my berry juice in the fridge? Thank you.
It seemed that he was not dead, but was living concealed in Honnoji. By the time Nobunaga arrived, however, Honnoji was surrounded by the forces of the Orochi army.
Cao Cao seems to have the power to move his men even from beyond the grave. This moment must not be squandered. Encircle, eviscerate, and extirpate the odious Ophidian.
I just can't keep up with the language of young people these days.
Thank you, my dear. Sorry, I'm checking something. Oh, Pebbles, are you scared? Did she scare you? Alright. So we need to use Hideyoshi first. This fight is kind of interesting. Onochi.
Onochi is surrounded.
This
I
man
smell a
needs...
fox behind this. We can't allow Cao Cao to die. Hurry!
I'm feeling ready for a serious scrap. Damn, I hate backing out.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
Simply
God,
magnificent.
this still sounds horrific.
Da Ji, the woman who calls herself Orochi's strategist.
She may be cruel and capricious, but she is not to be underestimated.
This should be interesting. Sweep them aside.
That's just a game trying to trick you, by the way. Cao Cao is fine. Hello, Pebbles. What's the matter, baby? Cat was visiting me briefly. Poor girl. I think she's bugging. But the game is trying to trick you. He's fine. If you have... Hey, Glory, welcome back. If you want... if you want to know why that's... Like, he's fine, I'll have to play the other campaigns and show you. But that's not actually Cao Cao down there. But that's largely the game just trying to trick you. There's a couple of instances where the game tries to trick you in this series. I could play Warriors Orochi 4 for everybody.
The enemy cannot be
Yeah, so far I'm doing alright. Haven't had anybody else that needs to go to the Shadow Realm yet.
Give them what they want.
Over 7 minutes. It's actually kind of comedic irony that Oda Nobunaga is at Honoji because this is supposedly where he died. Well, not supposedly. This is historically where he died. He was surrounded by Mitsuhide here and killed. Well, he wasn't killed. He actually killed himself. He committed seppuku when it became clear he was not going to be able to get back up and reinforcements before his defensive line came. And he just didn't have what he needed to defend himself. So he just took himself out. And then Mitsuhide took over briefly. When I say briefly, this man was known as the 3-day ruler. He died that fast. The game really wants you to think that Cao Cao really needs your help. He doesn't. Alright. The main reason why I cleared out a lot of these groups of serpent men is because of what happens when you get to Cao Cao.
Simply magnificent.
I don't want these enemies here when Cao Cao comes out, or when we get down there to him, because they will get reinforced in a very annoying way. And you'll see what I mean. But normally an officer who is struggling would have actually died by now when under that much pressure. You will notice that Cao Cao isn't gone. Yeah, there's a nefarious reason behind it. How much time does he have left? 4.5 minutes. Okay.
Your selfish rampage is at an end. I am powerless to stop this.
Serves you right for getting
But
in
Nobunaga
my
had a
way.
lot of
Brilliant!
really good ideas and things for Japan, but also a lot of really bad ones.
So, you have heard the rumors, I see. I hate to break this to you.
But he's not actually here.
I humbly request you to stand and fight!
Dadi, if you think your deviousness makes you a strategist,
Oh, I know it does.
I will opt to stay alive and retreat.
Serves
Really?
you right for getting in my way.
A splendid show of force.
You must have come here expecting to find Santa. I'm afraid I have some bad news. He's not here. And you, my friend, have walked right into my trap.
You'll notice that Nobunaga is not the least bit surprised and doesn't really seem to give a shit that he's been tricked. It's because he doesn't. Nobunaga in the Samurai Warriors games, I actually feel is a incredibly interesting character.
I have dedicated my life to the people of Wu, and now I must fight to keep them alive.
I have led you right into the enemy's hands. Please forgive me.
Nobunaga cannot be defeated by guile. End them all.
I don't like his voice actor in this game. He sounds too flat. He's trying to speak with that edgy intensity that Nobunaga often has, but it just sounds flat. You know what I mean? Like he sounds so flat.
I won't be denied next time.
It's just that simple.
Frighteningly effective.
Impressive. Until next time.
The game finally caught up with the fact that I just beat Daji's ass.
Hot fire. Toshi-e, extinguish it.
Retreat! A splendid show of force.
It's also again hilarious to me that Nobunaga gets trapped in Hanoji while it's burning down in this game, and like all he casually thinks is, "Oh, fire! Right, I have an answer for that." Toshi-ie, deal with this.
It's just that simple.
That's not something he does in any of the other video games when Hanoji gets set up.
Orochi will triumph. Do not resist.
You were wrong to oppose me.
Leave some for me.
I won't be denied next time. You were wrong to oppose me.
A splendid show of force.
I really don't want to have to do this. But when I think of my father and my friends, I have no choice.
You cannot win a war with an army whose heart is not in the battle. So when I tell you that you want to clear out a lot of those pockets of troops because they'll get in the way and there'll be a problem later. Now you understand what I'm talking about, because that is a shitload of enemies and a shitload of enemy bases I would have then had to deal with while trying to put out the fires that are damaging my HP.
Leave some for me!
And while trying to protect Toshiie. And I'm already failing to protect Toshiie because he's way the fuck over there, and I gotta go all the way around in order to get to him. And I also still need to deal with Mamoshi down here, or he'll hamstring Meng Da until Meng Da is killed off.
Orochi will triumph. Do not resist.
But you'll also notice the enemy doesn't have any of these bases now with which to draw reinforcements. They have to fight their way to them in order to get reinforcements.
And this is what I find? That is the banner of that pretender Nobunaga.
Shahodun has arrived.
I see a new warrior on the battlefield.
It looks like Shahodun. He was Cao Cao's right-hand man.
Ha! It begins to build.
I have come to see Nobunaga, but I see that he may be otherwise occupied. But it never hurts to have him home.
Shingen Takeda has arrived. Shingen Takeda, another really famous officer from Japanese history. He was known as the Tiger of Kai, and was extremely famous for the way with which he strategized his way through virtually any conflict he engaged in. And Toshiie is now able to extinguish the fire.
I won't lose a second time.
You were wrong to oppose me.
A splendid show of force.
But Takeda Shingen was a legendary strategist in his own right. He was considered one of the greatest strategists of his age. He is a very advanced age man. In fact, I believe he passed away due to illness on his way to the capital of Kyoto when he tried to make a march for the capital to take Nobunaga out. His march ultimately didn't go as planned.
Is this Nobunaga?
He sees all.
I am sure there is much he does not see.
So, the name of Cao Cao has drawn you out as well.
And you are Nobunaga Oda. I have heard the name. I will put my shoulder to the wheel. Let us brush the enemy aside. Nobunaga, there is something familiar about you. Something I can respect. And yet, you are not fit to take the place of my Lord Cao Cao.
But he tried to march to the capital. He was very famous for his duels with a man who was also deified by Japanese warriors and monks as a god of war. That man in question was Inosuke Kenshin, Usugi Kenshin was a fervent Buddhist monk believer
Remember this. Next
and an
time, things will be different.
extremely capable warrior that was said to fight for virtually anybody who had a just cause, as he saw it, but also very frequently liked to fight Takeda Shingen. And he liked to fight Shingen because Shingen was one of the very few men on the planet that could actually rival him in terms of combat prowess. And he considered Shingen to be his nemesis. This is characterized a lot in the Warriors games by Kenshin Uesugi routinely having...
One that even the Tiger of Kai cannot easily take, I see.
Lone, I fear this tiger would be swallowed whole.
You were wrong to oppose
Time to have a light
he would often very frequently
will
call
be busy
Shingen
again soon enough.
the word
What are
nemesis
you
instead of
planning,
calling him
my
by
boy?
his name.
Search for my lord. That is all there is.
We shall all meet again.
You are a dangerous man, but you will never match my lord.
You waste your time in searching for the dead. You do not see your lord's intentions.
I'd like to stay and teach you a lesson right now, but the dead won't find themselves. I'll save the pleasure of finishing your miserable life for later, if you make it.
My lord, I bring a treacherous officer of the enemy forces before you.
So, does the kingdom of Wu have any fight left in it? Or will you all just descend meekly into hell?
What? What are you saying?
Take a long look at yourself, and you will see what I mean. Release the prisoners.
But my lord, with no prisoners, what was this battle for? Did we fight in vain?
We will see.
He's releasing those prisoners because he has no need for them as they are. He has need for them another way. Kyushu and Shapi. I'm doing this to increase the strength of their weapons. They kind of need every advantage they can get for right now. Defeat 160 enemies, including 6 officers. Defeat 180 enemies within 8 minutes of the start of a battle with no Muso gauge attacks. Defeat 6 officers while maintaining 65% life and no Muso attacks. Okay, so Mitsuhide's has to be done first. He's the only one of them who has a timer on his next ability. So next we'll be doing the Battle of Shapi.
Lu Xun led a resistance army comprised of those soldiers of Wu who refused to side with Orochi under any circumstances.
Yes, he did.
To suppress this uprising, Orochi sent Lu Xun's former lord, Sun Ce, who successfully put down the rebellion. Refusing to allow Lu Xun to escape, Orochi had him pursued, eventually holding him up in Shapi Castle, isolated and alone. In order to save Lu Xun and to win him over to his army, Nobunaga dispatched a force to Shapi.
There's a lot of officers working for Orochi here. So Lu Xun is actually alone in this fight. I could not remember this battle very clearly.
Great job holding out, young man.
I will assist. Do not allow the defense of your main camp to collapse.
Look out! Here I come! Look out! Here I come! I will not stay alive and retreat.
Attack their main camp. Do not let the reinforcements arrive. Advance! Seize the camp at once!
You were wrong to oppose me.
A splendid show of force.
I will opt to stay alive and retreat.
You were wrong to oppose me.
Simply magnificent. All we can do is find shelter and try to wait this out.
We both know that's not going to happen, Lu Xun. I guess I could talk a little bit about this battlefield. Historically, this is where Lu Bu was made to see his final conflict. Lu Bu was the most powerful warrior in all of ancient China during the Three Kingdoms era. He was extremely martially competent and capable, said to be so capable that he can hold off entire armies. I don't really, I could never really vouch for how real that is.
Your selfish rampage.
But his combat prowess was definitely nothing to sneeze at. And his overall abilities were certainly nothing to ignore either, because his skills were incredible. Dong Zhuo actually adopted Lu Bu as his son specifically because he wanted Lu Bu's skills to be his and no one else's, and he didn't want to have to fight Lu Bu if it ever came to it. So much so that despite a lot of records showing that Dong Zhuo was quite a sexist, lecherous pig who very much enjoyed his many, many women, when Lu Bu had eyes for Diao Chan, Dong Zhuo didn't go anywhere fucking near her. And he wouldn't go near her because he wanted Lu Bu happy. But Diao Chan made him think that Dong Zhuo had plans for him, so Lu Bu ended up turning his spear on him and killed him. In terms of why Lu Bu was cornered at Xiapi, it was because at that point he had basically proven to be little more than a rabid fucking animal, and everybody was like, I am not dealing with this asshole anymore, yo. So Cao Cao and Liu Bei both gathered together, and they rallied their forces to attack Lu Bu at Xiapi Castle.
Look out! Here I come!
And Xiapi did end up essentially being Lu Bu's grave because he was overwhelmed and outfought by Guo Jia. Who the fuck was the name of the... There was a officer that wanted to... There was a regional lord that wanted Lu Bu to be indebted to him. I think it was Gongsun Zan, something like that.
You were wrong.
He wanted Lu Bu on his side, so he tried to come to his aid. Lubu tried to hold out, but Wojia, desperate to find a way to overcome the enemy's defenses at the floodgates, decided, or the enemy's defenses of the castle, decided to order an attack on the floodgates. The attack was successful, and it decimated Xiapi Castle's defenders because it killed most of them in the flood. And it also broke most of the defensive line that the troops were trying to hold and restricted Lubu's movements with his soldiers immensely. This ultimately allowed Cao Cao and his men, along with Liu Bei, to attack from the north and south simultaneously. It locked Lubu in place so he couldn't escape, and enough veteran warriors finally beat him to a pulp and held him down, and they managed to actually capture him after that. Lubu was said to have tried to proposition Cao Cao for the use of his services in return for his life. Cao Cao refused and had him killed. Zhang Liao was a man who also greatly respected Lubu, and he actually tried. He actually told Lubu that a proper warrior should face death head-on. And because he was willing to die, because he knew he had done wrong, and he was beaten, Cao Cao realized he had a sense of honor and respect. Somebody like that he could use, and his martial prowess was actually incredibly high. And he wanted that, so he took Zhang Liao in.
Servant of the order, and we're now serving.
We can certainly use the help.
I humbly request you to stand and fight.
Get ready to taste my steel. Get ready to taste my steel.
I will opt to stay by and retreat.
I shall show no mercy.
It's just that simple.
But that's kind of how Xiapi ended for Lubu. Many of the officers that worked for Lubu, they surrendered to Cao Cao and ended up becoming Cao Cao's men. So Cao Cao got a lot out of this. Liu Bei got his province of Xiapi back, which Lubu stole from him because he claimed that Liu Bei was a weak and inept ruler. Inevitably, Guan Yu is said to have been the one who landed the killing or the crippling blow on Lubu that led to his capture. Guan Yu then stole his horse, Red Hair, which was said to be an extremely fast and capable horse. And yeah, that was his mount now after that.
Simply magnificent.
Alright, so I'm going to go up and around the back of Xiapi Castle. I'm going to seal off the checkpoints back there so the enemy can't spawn out of them. And then I'm going to head up north and see if I need to help Lu Xun. If I do, I'm going to. Once I give him back up, I'm going to head down to my main camp and clear out all the enemies trying to get in there. Oh, I'm going to have to move quick too. That's a lot of damn soldiers up there. Oh, wow! Hideyori started struggling, but he took an enemy out. Usually once an officer starts struggling, they lose all their potency. So they don't end up killing anything. Except for some generic troops.
Okay, let's catch us some snakes.
No matter. The advantage lies with us.
Not for fucking long, that advantage doesn't. No checkpoint for the enemy.
I need help! Now!
Hang on, Hideyori, I'm coming. I'm coming, Hideyori. Oh! He even got reinforced by somebody else. Okay, I need to take out 3 more officers with him.
In battle, one's head is not for just filling the helmet.
I shall show no mercy!
Retreat can be an acceptable strike.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
Simply magnificent. I won't be denied next time.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
A splendid show of force.
That's a massive fucking stream of enemies right there.
Time to put theory into practice.
I shall teach you the basics of strategy. It is time to put your skill to my test. I've fought at every turn.
Serves you right for getting in my way.
Simply magnificent.
Retreat can be an acceptable strike.
It's just that simple.
A splendid show of force.
My quest for strength will have to wait.
It's just that simple.
Simply magnificent.
A splendid show of force.
Alright, we need to go wipe out that massive horde of enemies that's in front of Lu Xun. If we don't, he's gonna get overwhelmed and die. Like, that's a lot of common troops. Like, this is a lot of cannon fodder. Oh, Zhang Ren and Nobutada are also with him. That's interesting. Just pop my leg. I will admit, this level is one of the ones that I'm most disappointed with, because I know they could have done a lot more with this level than they did, because they didn't really change it. They didn't do anything interesting with it. It's basically claw your way over the north or south and free Lu Xun, and then he retreats all the way back to your main camp, and then you just launch an offensive and the fight is over. There are a number of maps where they've changed the topography and the geography of it a little bit. And this one, they just didn't really do anything interesting with it at all. And I feel like that sucks.
A splendid show of force.
I'm not really saying that I know exactly what you could have done with it, but I do feel like there was more that this battlefield was easily capable of than what we got. Alright, let's cut Cao Ren off from the rest of his men. No more reinforcements.
Retreat! Retreat! I shall teach you the horrors of war.
You think you can teach me that?
It's just that simple.
You may have noticed a
Nobunaga,
lightsaber
you
whirring
are truly
sound.
inscrutable.
That's because Nobunaga has demonic energy coming out of his frickin' sword. He really doesn't need the agility modifier, but it doesn't hurt him. right? Alright. So, Ma Chao, Hong Zhong, and Guan Ping are our 3 options. I think I'm gonna take Ma Chao, because we don't really have anybody else unlocked yet. Wait, did we not unlock Lu Xun? No, we did not. Alright, let me look something up, figure out why that didn't happen. It could be because we took too long to get to him. He's supposed to just join you. What the hell? That's very frickin' strange. Okay. Okay, we're gonna try that again. I'm wondering if the problem wasn't how long that took, because Lu Xun was supposed to join us.
Lu Xun.
Job holding out, young man.
We will assist. Do not allow the defense of your main camp to become lapsed.
Your selfish rampage is at an end! Your selfish rampage is at an end! I will opt to stay alive and retreat!
It's just that simple.
A splendid show of force! I am powerless to stop this.
Attack their main camp. Do not let the reinforcements arrive. Advance! Seize the camp at once!
It's just that simple.
Impressive. I can see how you got where you are today.
All we can do is find shelter and try to wait this out.
I think that might have been why Lu Xun didn't join me. I think he won't join you if one of your officers gets defeated. Interesting. We'll move faster this
looks
time.
Looks like someone wants a fight.
We'll move faster this time.
Your selfish rampage is at an end! I am powerful. Stop.
It's just that simple.
A splendid show of force.
I humbly request you to stand and fight.
They are attempting to enter from the north. Stop them!
I will opt to stay alive and retreat.
It's just that simple.
Impressive. I can see how you got where you are today.
Surround the enemy and wipe them out. Take up your positions.
Back up? Hey, we've got a chance all of a sudden. You are?
I am Nobunaga. I am here to see.
I don't know. It's hard to trust anyone who looks so much like Southbound.
Your selfish rampage is at an end.
I don't want any mercy.
I am powerless to stop.
It's just that simple.
Simply magnificent.
There's nothing else for it.
It's just that simple.
Simply magnificent.
Get ready to taste my steel. Still no luck. Second wave, move in. I would rather live and redeem myself than die in shame.
Look out! Here I come!
It's just that simple.
A splendid show of force.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
It's just that simple.
Lu Xun, why are you
Impressive.
still fighting in the
I can
castle?
see how you got where you are today.
I will opt to stay alive and retreat.
It's just that simple.
Simply magnificent.
Come! Hit me with everything you've got!
I shall show no mercy!
If you join forces, our strength will be multiplied.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
It's just that simple.
Simply magnificent. I won't be denied next time.
It's just that simple.
Simply magnificent.
A splendid show of force.
Stubborn little squirmer, huh? But they won't get through.
A splendid show of force.
Worthless.
way! Fuck off! God damn. Killed the freaking commander, and those guys still shot me off my horse. 3 fucking times. What the hell? Alright, he needs to knock out 3 officers. He doesn't have any more abilities.
For justice!
Let's catch us some snakes.
No matter. The advantage lies with us.
In battle, one's head is not just filling a helmet.
I shall show no mercy!
Time to put theory into practice!
I won't be denied next time! The law finds voice in me!
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there.
Retreat can be an acceptable strategy.
The law finds voice in me!
Wonderful! You have earned my praise.
Hang on, Hidemitsu.
It is time to put your skill to my test. I shall teach you the basics of strategy.
In battle, one's head is not just filling a helmet. I had faith in
it. Might like that is a rare find on the battlefield.
Retreat can be an acceptable strategy.
The law finds voice in me!
Simply magnificent.
Some you win, some you lose.
The law finds voice in me!
Wonderful! You have earned my praise.
My quest for strength will have to wait.
The law finds voice in me!
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there.
The law finds voice in me. I find that to be a very odd thing for Ma Chao to want to say. I really don't feel like that's something he would say.
I shall teach you the horrors of war.
I'm staggering the last hit to my combo in order to chain strikes on him repeatedly.
In me. Together we can roast those snakes alive.
There we go. Okay, yeah. So you can't lose an officer in this fight.
You are truly inscrutable.
Lu Xun has become available for use. Hey, I got an immediate stallion spear for him. There we go. The Battle of Kyushu.
With Orochi holding control over almost the entire territory of his new world, those forces that remained outside his influence were scattered and factionalized. Chief among these were the 6 disparate forces led respectively by Zhao Yun, Lu Xun, Xiahou Dun, Shingen Takeda, Kenshin Uesugi, and Nobunaga himself. Each of these officers was attempting to expand and fortify their armies so that they could prevent Orochi from subjugating or eliminating them. For his part, Nobunaga had identified some independent forces in Kyushu as potential reinforcements for his own army.
I have heard rumor that Orochi has captured talented officers from far and wide to use in his infernal army. His forces grow in number every day. Surely the time has come when we must do something about this.
You do not see beyond the surface. I see all.
I am a practical man, my lord. But I know that the enemies and weapons I do see are real enough.
Any enemies within 12 minutes? That's pretty easy. God. Zhongjiao, Okuni, Xiao Qiao, those 3 are going to join us. Sakon Shima is not. He joins Wu. But we'll be getting these 3 regardless. Kyushu.
All forces. Advance on 3 fronts and swallow them whole.
This land is rife with evil men, befouling the peace which should rightfully reign. We shall do the heavens work and judge them for their sins.
The law finds voice in me. You're truly a hero of our time.
Oh, I wouldn't say things like that to Lord Nobunaga if I were you. He really doesn't like being judged.
I don't want any mercy.
No, he doesn't like being judged by hypocrites. That's kind of the thing that Nobunaga
That is my
notices about a lot of people. He's very quick to notice hypocrisy.
The mighty power of the heavens will accompany my attack.
Does he even know where he's going?
You believe yourself with the judgment.
Outfought at every turn. The law finds voice in me.
Wonderful! You have earned my praise.
That is Ma Chao's DW5 actor. Thank
Fights like
God.
that is a rare find on the battlefield.
He's at least a decent actor.
Witness the true power of belief.
You can witness my foot flying up your ass.
I should have known he'd go for the whirlwind next. Brace yourselves for the plague of locusts and the apocalypse, because they're next in line.
Parlor games fit only to amuse women and small children.
Some you win, some you lose. The law finds voice in me.
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there.
You shall be judged for your sins! Why have the heavens forsaken me?
Because you're an idiot.
Voice in me.
Wonderful!
I hate Shang
You have earned
Chi.
my praise.
Uncle did ask me to wait, while I hated to disobey such a handsome man. While the cat's away, they might feel cold.
Oh, Cooney is advancing.
You're supposed to be luring them out, not knocking them flat.
Come on, boys, take heart. Feast your eyes on the queen of the dance.
So essentially, what's gonna happen throughout the entire course of this fucking fight is Shima Sakon is gonna try to actually provide some strategy, which makes sense. He was a strategist, historically speaking, and in Samurai Warriors 2, he is a man who tries to learn from a number of
The law finds voice in me.
I have some catching up to do.
But everybody is going to ignore him because he's working with a bunch of idiots.
Week's over. Come on out, everyone.
You must be looking for trouble. There is still much for me to learn. The law finds voice in me.
Wonderful! You have earned my praise.
Your skills are without equal.
That's his grab thrust contextual.
You want to fight? Then fight me! Years of experience have gone into this.
I won't be denied next time. You were wrong to oppose me.
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there.
How dare you steal my kill, Hideyoshi?
Come! Hit me with everything you've got!
Naughty young man. They need to be taught a serious lesson.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
You were wrong to oppose me.
Impressive. You do not require strategy.
Come on, boys. Take heart. Keep your eyes on the queen of the dance. Clearly, you can't leave me alone. All right. If it means that much to you, I'll fight for you.
It's just that simple.
I have some catching up to do.
I hear tell that you are waging war against Orochi. In the name of my
No
lord,
way!
allow me to join your fight.
It's Kanetsugu!
These forces are squabbling amongst each other.
That is
instead of
not
seeing the larger picture.
His
Even
original
Nobunaga
voice,
seems
though.
to be more concerned with
SW2.
strengthening his own power base than conquering Orochi. Although my lord did say that Nobunaga is a greater man than that.
Where is Sakon? Okay, he's over there. I want to deal with him last.
Years of experience have gone into this.
So, Kanetsugu Naoe, he is affiliated with the Uesugi Army. The Warriors series characterizes him as a man of extreme honor.
Impressive. I can see how you got where you are today.
And a man of incredible combat capability. He is kind of a strategist to an extent.
Not yet, you fools.
They wish to hasten their deaths, it seems.
Plans are in place. Time to execute.
A splendid show of force.
Plans are in place. Time to execute. Outfought at every turn.
It's just that simple.
A splendid show of force.
I am no match for a legend like you.
It's just that simple.
Impressive. I can see how you got where you are today.
The wisdom of experience has made you a valuable asset to any army, Sakon. Your worth extends to this strange world as well. I only fear that there is no leader who can use your talents for good.
Outfought at every turn.
No leader
It's
who would
just that
use your talents for good.
You do not require.
That's a very weird thing for him to say. I wonder if he thinks Kenshin is dead. I really wish the game delved in on that a little bit better than it does.
A splendid show of force.
Yeah, I'm intentionally leaving Sakon for last. Because he's the only commander that's actually cool. So I want to actually save something decent for the end. In terms of history, there's not too much to say about Kanetsugu. Samurai Warriors 2, in its characterization of him, he is a man who holds honor and justice above all else.
Yes.
It however,
You
this
realize you're here to fight, not to collect autographs?
this mentality ended up leaving him very jaded. However, when Uesugi were forced to surrender to
It's just that simple.
when the Uesugi were forced to surrender to the Tokugawa, not too long after Kenshin's death, because Kagekatsu was not able to maintain independence. He did, however, manage to own lordship of the clan. He is characterized in the video games as having a friendship with Sanada Yukimura. The two respect each other greatly. He respects Sanada Yukimura's honorable nature and dedication to justice. He does not, however, end up siding with Yukimura in Samurai Warriors 2 in the actual main storyline of Yukimura himself.
Now's the time. Attack!
Oh no! He bought it! Cook like stink!
I see what they are plotting. They wish to draw us out, then ambush us.
I am no match for a legend like you.
It's just that simple.
A splendid show of force.
He ends up becoming embittered with the fact that he has to fight Yukimura, seeing justice as having died in the world, with Ieyasu effectively stealing control of the land.
I'm not for sale, Demon King.
And he basically tells Yukimura he wants him to kill him when they fight each other. Yukimura refuses. He beats the shit out of him. What's up, Glory? After Yukimura refuses to kill him, Yukimura beats his ass and then basically tells him, hey, you need to learn how to wise up. You know, have the conviction to stand up for your beliefs no matter what.
I won't admit defeat. I'm just in an unfortunate situation, is all.
Sakon, just admit that you lost that fight. It was due to everyone else's incompetence, but please admit that you lost that fight.
The situation. Your situation is at my feet, is it not?
That's exactly what it is.
They just let me do things my way.
Very well. I shall grant you an opportunity to demonstrate your strategical genius.
Those eyes, such depth, such evil. How exciting.
This is a test of my faith. I must accept this humiliation for now.
I give up. I give up. Just don't hurt me anymore, okay?
Have no fear. Your lives are all in my hands.
I hear from a reliable source that Lord Kenshin too is preparing his forces for battle with Orochi. And that Lord Shingen has a similar plan. My lord, does it not seem prudent to join forces with them?
That will not be necessary.
I see.
Zhongjiao, Xiaoqiao, and Okuni have become available for use. Chapter 4 and 4X. Oh, he's another one of the Cavaliers! Oh man, this is important actually. 100 enemies within 10 minutes of the start of a battle. Okay. Watch out. I'm not having good luck with weapons right now. I'm not that far into the Samurai storyline, but still, I'm not getting very good weapons. Finally starting to get some decent powers. I think I got enough time for one more fight. And then I need to make some frickin' dinner. Sishui Gate and Tong Gate. Oh no! Oh god, this is the level where you recruit Dong Zhuo. Oh jeez.
Dong Zhuo served Orochi for one reason, and one reason only. This reason was in the form of a vast quantity of gold, which Orochi was having transported to him, ostensibly as military funding. Hearing of this delivery, Hideyoshi Toyotomi immediately formed an army. He rushed to Sishui Gate to ambush the supply troops carrying the gold.
Okay. Oh god, Ina is in this fight? Oh joy. I hate fighting her. She's annoying.
Today is a very good day. Orochi smiles upon me and is sending me gold. If you want my head, come and take it.
An order is made. Let the test of luck and with gold.
I am no match for a legend like you.
Bring it on! The law finds voice in me!
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there.
We must deliver the gold to Lord Dong Zhuo.
There they are. Don't let them get to Dong Zhuo.
Damn! I hate backing out! The law finds voice in me! Oh, such a pious soul!
Dong Zhuo's supposed to be getting a special delivery. So keep your eyes peeled, and I just might make some money here.
Perfect. These clothes don't pay for themselves, you know.
Gold! Perhaps it can be used to spread the teachings of the heavens.
The gold is not here! What happened?
That's the way, and don't forget to pick up the gold. There's gonna be a big party tonight.
Seize the enemy camp!
I dare you to try to take my head.
You really don't want to dare me to kill you.
Someone else can deal with this.
The law finds voice in me!
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there.
Sensational. My heart always loves you.
I bring news! More supply troops are about to arrive.
It makes sense that Hideyoshi is the one asshole who who would organize an army purely for the sake of stealing somebody else's fucking money. Hideyoshi was kind of a greedy dick. He was very much a man who was all about that business. I just one-shot that!
Stop me?
I just one-shot that supply captain.
I won't lose a second time.
If you don't let any of the supply captains reach him, you can actually get Dong Zhuo to join you in this mission.
Thanks for your generous donation to my charitable cause. Drop by again anytime.
I
Why,
hate you,
with this
Okuni.
much gold, we could even convert Orochi himself.
I hate Zhang Jiao.
We must claim the enemy main camp.
Oh my god.
I do not know who is responsible.
If you're wondering why I really don't like these characters, there's a reason for that. It's because they basically exist to be really fucking stupid gag comedy. And I understand this is not a series you're supposed to take that seriously. That doesn't mean it isn't fucking obnoxious after a while,
Very
though.
pretty work
And
you're doing out there.
after seeing Neo actually do something kind of interesting with Okuni in Neo 2, I kind of wish they would do something interesting with Okuni in this game. Series. And I really don't like that they always use her as that pretty dimwit who's incredibly nice, but somehow also incredibly badass. Particularly with how few characters there are in Samurai Warriors that are actually female, I just really don't like what they did with her.
Might like that is a rare find on the battlefield.
Bitch.
There is still much for me to learn.
The law finds voice in me.
Oh, such a pious soul.
I am not pious, don't lie to the audience. I'm a sadist. I'm just very aware of what I am. And I'm very good at using it to my advantage.
I bring news. More supply troops are about to arrive.
Oh.
Stand and fight me!
I'll fight you in a minute. You are a jackass! Fuck you, Glory!
Petty thieves! Those who dare steal from the great Lubu shall pay for their lives!
Oh god, Lubu's in this level?
Rejoice! You will not be in this place for long.
The only thing I'm about to rejoice about is that I'm gonna
Feel my
kick your
growth,
arrogant ass!
You know the punishment for theft! That's it! I've had with that snake! He can't even get me the gold he promised! And he can go to hell! Now I'm really angry. I'll remember this!
The law finds voice in me!
That's some very pretty work you're doing out there. All right. Just the big gorilla left to
We're the
cover.
best of friends. It's why you get away with this. Besides, one of my friends has to troll me while I'm on the stream. Alright, so Dong Zhuo has decided he's leaving Orochi's troops. So, that's kind of the trick here. You just have to make sure all 3 supply captains that show up get killed before they can actually deliver their payload. If any one of them delivers the gold, you don't get Dong Zhuo. I am going to say this, though. Dong Zhuo, there's only one reason to recruit him. Technically 2, but for me, there's only 1.
Still not enough.
And it's the same reason that I will go back later and recruit Yoshimoto Imagawa. But if you recruit every single character in the game who isn't Daji, or rather who isn't Orochi, you can actually unlock Orochi as a playable character. He's incredibly fun. Yeah, I know, right? I feel like nobody else watches my shit.
A splendid show of force.
No, I have 3 friends, basically, or 4, that promise to watch it. I know Anthony watches it, so I don't have to worry about him. He even pops in now and then. Seth doesn't watch them. Alan doesn't watch them.
You wanna fight? Then fight me!
And Regal and her crew don't watch them, but, I mean, Regal's so fucking busy, I doubt she'll have time to sit down with her to watch those. Although, occasionally, she does pop in,
Discretion is the better part of valor.
The law finds voice in me!
Glory, though, Glory is, like, I think my most routine visitor. I know who I can count on when I need service. This is actually very true to the way that the Warriors franchise tends to characterize Dong Zhuo. Historically, Dong Zhuo was an asshole for a lot of reasons. He planned the assassination of the Han Emperor. He planned the assassination of He Jin. He Jin being the man who was the Han general and royal guard at the time. He also subverted the Han Emperor and used him as a puppet figurehead while he made whatever political decisions he wanted, executing political rivals without much actual evidence or reason behind it. He also ordered the slaughter of just about anybody who he wanted. He would steal food from the people periodically in order to be able to enjoy banquets for himself. He would host a lot of banquets that were primarily there for him to be able to just allow him to gorge himself on excess. He had a nasty behavior around women. He was extremely sexist.
I'm feeling ready for a
I believe he orchestrated his own fucking harem, and that was not something he was supposed to do. That was not something he was entitled to. He did it because he had all the power, and he had strong warriors like Li Ru, who was a decent strategist, Lu Bu, who was the mightiest in the land, and Huo Xiong, who was a very famous and skilled officer, all under his service, that allowed him to get away with it, and was said to be pretty decent in combat himself. He's not actually a terrible character to play as in the Warriors series, but I don't like him, and I tend not to play as him just because he is a disgusting sack of selfish greed, lust, avarice, and just everything wrong with humanity is basically the way the Warriors series represents Dong Zhuo. And, historically speaking, I believe a fair bit of what they characterize in him that is wrong in the Warriors series, he actually did in fact do. The regional lords of several provinces, including Cao Cao and Sun Jian.
I've had enough of that skinflint Orochi. I'll make more money fighting with you lot.
All I really wanted was the gold, but hey, good for you.
Dongzhuo is available for use now. Got my Cavalier skill, which is good. Hey! Mitsuhide got his third weapon. Hallowed Edge. That's good. So, yeah, he was, Dongzhuo was not a good man historically, and while he's not the worst character in the world, I don't like him. His fighting style is okay, it's nothing super special, and I loathe his character so much that I just no. Like, fucking no. Go. Very heavily upgraded Hallowed Edge. I think my Cavalier... Yeah, Cavalier is at 5 now, thank God. I might actually unlock a better horse. 6 officers in 8 minutes to the start of the battle. I'm gonna just check. What do I have next? Oh, the Battle of Tong Gate. Okay. Alright, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'll see you next time. I've been Savage Hound Dusk. Thanks for watching.